What's going on, Spartan Nation? Hey, glad to be back. Your boys are back. Welcome to the Spartan Dog Podcast. I'm your host, Jarrell, joined by my aces, my boys, Jordan and Devin. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, how you doing?
And we ready to talk about that Prairie View ass whooping and then preview this Boston College game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yes, last weekend we blew Prairie View A&M out 40-0. It was a solid game by Michigan State Spartans. I want to get both of you guys' opinions on it, good, the bad, if you've seen any bad. So, Devin, I want to start with you. How did you feel about the 40-0 shutout that Michigan State put on Prairie View A&M?
Well, number one, let's just go ahead and give props where props are due, regardless of who the opponent is. But to shut out an opponent 40-0,
Yep.
I mean, to shut out a team. Granted, yes, we're playing at home. It's an FCS team, clearly a skill gap there, major skill gap.
Yep.
You get it. It's like with me and Jordan when it comes to Call of Duty, major skill gap.
Damn.
So we get it. I understand. But still. But still. Point is, you shut them out. You put a shutout against another football team. You basically said,
That's right.
look, we're not going to let you in the end zone at all, period. Now, we got to still clean up the penalties. Had too many of those, even though I personally believe that the Angelo Gross roughing the passer was a little ticky-tacky. I mean, I get it. He smacked the face, and the quarterbacks are protected like newborn babies.
Yes,
I
they
get
are.
it. But, there was no malicious intent behind that hit. Whatever he was doing, there was not. He wasn't leading with the crown. He wasn't like thrusting his arm up. He wasn't like trying to swing on dude or nothing like. I don't know. Football play, everything's happening real fast. Like that's why I seen it. I think it was ticky tacky. So that shouldn't have took away Chuck Brantley's first pick six.
Yep.
But I mean, hell, the other one's a better highlight. So
Yeah.
but that's just the way I'm seeing it. Clean up the penalties. Let's get a little bit better in the running game because Boston College is going to be a tougher opponent. But overall, I mean, they did exactly what I wanted them to do in this game.
Yeah.
So,
Jordan, how you feel about the 40-0 game Michigan State had?
I have similar positives to what Devin was saying. Very similar positives. The one
do you
negative.
agree with the Call of Duty assessment?
Who's good at Call of Duty? You or me?
We already said that. We already said where the skill gap was, sir.
Look, bro. I'm pretty good at Call of Duty.
Man, there's a reason I got trophies, man, and earnings from winnings.
Off task. We could talk about that later. I didn't know you played Call of Duty like that. We can run some. I can show you what I got in that.
Oh
But,
God.
Yeah, the positives are similar to Devin's. A lot of positives there. Negatives, I would say offense still looked a little choppy.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping and praying that we came into that game and Charles would have 3 touchdowns and look really smooth and it would kind of click for him in that game. And I understand the skill gap, but I kind of wanted it because of the skill gap to just be like he's just out there playing pitch and catch. It's smooth. It's bang bang. We're up the drive. We're up the field. We're off the field. We're up the field. We're off the field. We can do what we want. It still seemed kind of draggy. There was a few plays where he honestly could have thrown 3 interceptions that game. Again, so it's just again decision making. Nothing really with the talent. The talent's all there. A Big Ten analyst kind of said this about him during the game or after the game. He was like, the talent's all there. You could see like the skill is there. It's just mechanics and like decision making, which I would hope he changes. We could I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But in that game, I just a little bit better decision making. There's guys running open and he's taking the harder throw. Defensive line, I felt like sometimes I got a little stood up by Prairie View. The QB was just sitting back there a little too long where I'm like, hello, who's getting back there? But overall, it was a good win. A shutout's a shutout. I was happy to see, running game get going at least. At times, the offensive line looked like it was getting overpowered. That was a little concerning too, but not too concerning. We still did our job, but it was a little concerning to see the whole Prairie View defensive line in the backfield sometimes. But yeah, overall, it was a good game. It was a good game overall. I wasn't terribly upset.
Yeah, I completely agree with the both of you. I believe this was the perfect confidence booster type game that I believe Michigan State needed right before a very tough opponent in Boston College. I did like the way Aiden Childs performed, even though you're right, Jordan, he should have had 3 touchdowns. He definitely has to clean up a lot of what he sees on the field because you're right, it's not clicking far as him and his passing ability. What we've seen at Oregon State is not what we are getting here at Michigan State. It is a different version of Aiden Childs. And to be honest with you, I liked the version that I saw at Oregon State. He was comfortable. He had the vision and the focus to throw. He was not hesitant on throwing the football. He was very direct. Every single snap he took at Oregon State, when he made the decision to throw the football, it was on point from what I saw in the highlights that they had of him at Oregon State. Now, with the game at Prairie View, he was 12 of 19 for 173 yards and 1 touchdown. I would love to see him get to 250 yards passing, maybe 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns. Just
Yeah.
Did it last week.
yeah, I agree. But we need to see. I mean, this is a big stage. This is probably the biggest stage that he has been on in any college football game that he has played at Oregon State or now at Michigan State. This is the Boston College team that probably won't be ranked after losing to Missouri, but they're still a very good team. They're very much capable of getting into the playoffs this season. So I liked it. The running game was decent. Wide receivers, everybody got a little action in the wide receiver room. So I like to see that far because you never know. The only concern I had really about that game was not defensively, it's our offensive line. Losing Gavin Brodus.
Mm-hmm.
Brocious. Yes. I'm sorry for butchering the name, but yes. Big loss. Him and number 71.
Yeah, Phillips.
Christian Phillips. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So having both of those guys down and the offensive line is already thin as it is next man up. That is a big concern, I would say so. But I do believe that this offense can help even a younger offensive lineman and help them develop. I mean, I much rather, especially for this year, I don't have humongous expectations. I just believe we're good enough to shock the world. But at the moment, I'm okay with young guys getting playing time to develop. They need game time experience, and this is what they're going to get. At the end, I believe it'll all work out. If not this year, it'll be next year and the year after. That all that experience that these young guys had to get early will only help them out. So, but this should be our wrap up of Prairie View A&M. I think it's time now to get into Boston College. We go to Boston College this weekend. I want to get your thoughts on just Boston College as a team. What do you see that Michigan State can do? What are your concerns with this team going into Boston College? What do they need to clean up, if anything? And who do you believe could be the X factor going into Boston College? Jordan, I'll start with you.
So Boston College for me, I think they're a really, really good test team for Michigan State. Overall, I don't think they're nationally great, but for Michigan State standards, they're a really good team. Mainly because I think they have a really good coach. I think Bill O'Brien can outcoach Jonathan Smith easily. I think that's not even a question. I think Bill O'Brien can easily outcoach him in a game, and it's not because any flack on Jonathan Smith. This guy's coached with Nick Saban and Bill Belichick multiple times. It wasn't like he got fired. They asked him to come back, begged him to come back. So he's a great coach. So I just think that that's my concern with the game. It's just how Aiden Childs is going to handle a coach that's going to understand how to get him uncomfortable. It's not like he's going to be playing a Maryland coach who has his own DNA and he doesn't know how to find another one. Bill O'Brien can beat you and set up schemes in multiple different ways at an NFL level too, to where it's like, I think, fans should account for that this coaching staff is going to be at Aiden Childs, and his decision making the last 3 weeks hasn't shown me that it's going to change this week. I know everyone says well, he'll just fix it. What has shown anyone that he's just going to fix it? For me, I think this game is going to be a game where he kind of gets a wake up call where it's like, you can't do that. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think Michigan State still has a good chance to win. But when you see a team like Boston College that beat Florida State, who we all understand they're not that good, but we're Michigan State, so we are in no position to say who's good and who's bad.
We're 3-0. They're not.
I get that. Yes, that's true. But they also played the number 6 team in America, Missouri, and Missouri I think was a little bit deeper, and Boston College couldn't hang with them. They didn't have enough rotational guys to hang. but they still were dominating the number 6 team in America for most of the game, and then they got burnt out, couldn't maintain their drives, and it happened like that. So my biggest concern is how Michigan State's going to handle a team that's legitimately coached well, the best quarterback we've ever seen, a team that actually throws the ball. Everyone, I know everyone's excited about the defense, but like not many teams have thrown the ball legitimately on us. And sometimes Prairie View was hitting the gaps on the throws. There were some Michael Strahan gaps that they were throwing the ball in and getting completions, Prairie View. So I kind of look at that where I'm like, okay, like we haven't played a passing quarterback. Really, like at Maryland did, but he wasn't like, it wasn't really like a standing back picking you apart type stuff. So I'm just curious to see how we have a dual threat. He can do both. It's not like he's a one trick pony. I'm just curious to see how that goes. Very curious.
Okay. Devin, what you
I,
got?
I just picked up on the Michael Strahan joke that you made there.
Thank you.
But yeah, just Boston College is going to clearly probably finish somewhere in the top 40, top 30 by the end of the year. May not be in the top 25, top 15, top 12, top 5, whatever. But they are going to finish in that top 40, top 30 range. So this is going to be the real first legitimate test. And the fact that it is on the road does add a little bit more. And it's one of their red bandana games, as they call it.
Okay.
So that is going to add a little bit more of, a little bit more pressure, atmosphere, a little bit more, maybe possibly a home field advantage for Boston College. They've been doing this red bandana thing in honor of 9/11 survivors and victims. And then I think also the big thing was they had a lacrosse player, I believe it was,
Okay.
that went and saved a bunch of people. I believe he did die doing that as well. So that's really awesome of them to be able to do that for people, for their guy, and in honor of them. But just yes, I am going to come around and say, with the mistakes that Aiden Childs has made, the same kind of similar bad decisions, bad throws, not setting your feet. Although I do believe kind of it is not setting your feet more than it is like a mental error, like, oh, I'm just gonna chuck this here. Like, no, I think it's more of he's making the right decision. He is just very inaccurate with the throw and putting it in the position to where the defender can get it rather than the receiver. So I know that's not helping. So if we can fix that mechanic within this week of practice, or maybe nullify it a little bit more, I think it'll help. I'd like us to see us establish the run a little bit more against Boston College. That'll keep the ball out of Aiden Childs' hands so he doesn't have to throw it for 300 yards and 4 TDs to win the game. So, that's going to be on the onus of the offensive line and the running backs, Nate Carter, Kayron Lynch-Adams. Bust through some holes, make it happen. Let's not be kind of, just a one-pop run. Let's rip off a couple 15, 20-yarders, each of you. Let's keep the defense honest. Let's keep them on their heels. It's going to be a tough challenge, but at the end of the day, if we can minimize the turnovers, not really even turn the ball over at all, and find a way to capitalize every single drive with points, whether it's a field goal or touchdown, whatever it may be, I think we can come away with an upset here. I can see this game being very similar to the Miami game in 2021.
Yeah, that's the last time we beat a ACC opponent, right?
That was on the road too. So
on the road, yeah. So
I can definitely see this being one of those type of games.
In the bowl game, but
my bad. Yeah, my bad. Before bowl games,
bowl games don't count as
Yeah. So we was hoping
Shout out Pat Narduzzi,
right? Shout out Pat. But yeah, we thought that. I thought that Boston College would be ranked. If in my opinion, if they would have beat Missouri last weekend, this will probably be a way tougher game for me than how I feel about them right now. Not saying that Missouri was a weak opponent by any means. They're in the SEC for a reason, and they're much improved. So they're not to be messed with either. I just thought that I seen a little chink in the armor against Missouri, which is giving me a little bit more confidence with Michigan State. I do believe that Michigan State's defense, their tenacity, their just ruggedness, I believe is exactly the thing that will slow Boston College down. I don't know about stopping them, but I definitely believe that our defense is more than capable and is the healthiest part of the line. As far as offensive defense, defense is way more healthier than the offense. So with the strength of this team being the defensive side of the ball, and what my eyes are telling me, I believe that this defense is capable of slowing Boston College down.
I
Now,
believe our defense is better than their offense. Now, about our offense being better than their defense or our offense being better than their offense, I don't know. But I do believe our defense is slightly better than their offense.
I can agree with you on that. It is solely on Aiden Childs. I'm not going to, it's just the way it is to me. I'm going to tell you one thing. Boston College they play a 4-3 defense and they play more zone than they do man. Now, they like to send 5 a lot more than usual. So Aiden Childs will see a little bit of a blitz more than about 60 to 70% of the time. They will bring at least 5. He has to dissect the secondary and know where the zone is up there. Sometimes they'll blitz and go man. So it's a combination of just it's going to be it's going to be a mental thing with Aiden Childs in this game. More than his footwork, more than anything, his decision making is going to be key. If he throws 3 interceptions versus Boston College, I don't care how many touchdowns he wins. We're not going to win that game.
We're going to get blown out if we throw 3 interceptions.
That's all I'm saying. But I think our defense can still hold up. They've done it before. I think they can still do it. But I'm just saying, that's not what I want for the defense in this game. With Castellanos, the quarterback for Boston College, he is a Kyler Murray meets Michael Vick. He will take off. He does a whole lot on that field. So slowing him down and making sure understanding where he's at is key. Stopping the run is also key. Against Missouri, they only rushed for 49 yards combined. That's the only way to do it. And against Florida State, they rushed for 263 combined. So if they have a great rushing game, they're going to score points. If you can slow down the rushing attack, it slows them down. Michigan State has an opportunity to capitalize. That's how I see this game.
I got to see our defense. This will be the final test for the defense for me. I'm a little too scorned by the last few years to give our defense too much credit because we haven't played anybody really that's tested our defense. And I'm not hating on them. I just think we've had a really good benefit of playing more mobile quarterbacks and quarterbacks that don't really look to throw much. So I think this game, it still plays in our favor because I don't think this quarterback's a pass first. I don't think he's really a pick apart guy either. I feel like his legs are his greatest asset, which helps Michigan State because we're gritty, we're fast.
Mm-hmm.
We have that Wolfpack defense where we just run to the ball. So I prefer that.
Right.
I prefer a run first quarterback opposed to someone that's going to sit back there and pick us apart because that's our Achilles heel, I feel like. But I do think it plays into our favor that route. I gotta see how well Castellanos can throw the ball. I gotta see if we can get pressure. If we don't get pressure on him, it doesn't really matter, if he can throw or not, if he has time. So I just gotta hope to see if we can get pressure on him. And I know he's not a pocket passer, a solidified just pick apart passer. So I just want to make sure we can get him uncomfortable, have consistent pressure. I feel like we're going to have a linebacker spying on him. Please,
I agree.
Have a linebacker spying on him, preferably Cal Holiday. Just get Cal Holiday on him the whole game. Yep. That should be Cal Holiday's guy easily. I would just hope they have a spy on him, and then from there, I just kind of want to see how we play. Yeah, I would think we would hopefully have a chance. Aiden Childs, he can't turn the ball over. That's my goal for him. 0 turnovers.
Great strategy. I like the strategy. Bro. Devin, what you got? What you got on strategy?
Don't turn the ball over.
Awesome.
Don't turn the ball over. Clean up the penalties. Don't turn the ball over. Don't beat yourselves up. If you don't beat yourselves up, you can keep yourself in the game. You got a chance of beating tough opponents.
There you go. I like that.
I honestly think the program needs this win massively because the following week after this weekend is probably not going to be phenomenal. So
please don't wear the black jerseys against Ohio
State. Save those for the Iowa game, right?
Yes, please.
Save that for the Iowa game.
Ohio State.
But it's just as far just don't turn the ball over. Let's clean up the penalties. Let's keep the penalties to a bare. I know you're not necessarily always going to play perfect ball, going to get a penalty here or there, but let's not get into the double digits. Let's not be having 10, 11, 12 penalties for 120 yards we're giving up. Like, no. Let's back it down to about 4 or 5, whatever, maybe. But, and for God's sakes, let's not do it in the middle of a crucial down either.
Please.
Or like a touchdown.
Crucial down.
Call back.
Yes,
Right.
let's not do it during. Please don't do it in the second half at all. If we're gonna get
Oh God.
penalties at all, get it away and get it out the way in the first half, but do not do it in the second.
Right.
Don't beat yourselves up out there, fellas.
I
So,
know.
score prediction.
No, one thing else before score
Okay.
prediction. I want to give both of you guys an opportunity to give me your offensive player of the game and your defensive player of the game, or somebody you feel could have a breakout game, offense and defense, just one player. Jordan, I go ahead and go start with you.
I'm gonna go with one of the running backs. I'll just say one, but I'm gonna say running back. I'm gonna go with the K'Ron Lynch Adams.
Okay. Okay.
Another breakout game for him. Another showcase game. And then defense, I'm gonna go with one of the linebackers because they're gonna have to get pressure. I wanted to go DM with Thompson, but I'm gonna go. Wayne Matthews has a breakout game today. I think
Okay.
he's gonna, or that game. I think he's gonna be very useful in a game like that. Or Kyle Halladay.
Okay. Devin, who you got?
Jack Velling offense. Gotta see that.
Ah,
Gotta see that number one tight end in the Pac-12 and the nation for touchdown catches last year. Gotta see him come alive. Get him involved. I don't care if it's like, I don't know, 4 catches, 5, 6 catches, 67 yards, touchdown or 2, whatever. Like, just get him involved. Make the defense feel his presence. Get him involved. I mean,
I like
I don't
that.
know about you guys, but the tippy toe catch last week that was ruled incomplete. I mean, that showed me that guy can play on Sundays.
Mm.
So, granted, I understand he couldn't get the feet down, but the adjustment and the way he was able to put his body towards catching that ball, that guy can play on Sundays. Get him involved.
I love it.
Defense. Chuck Brantley. Bet he comes play again. Bet he gets another pick.
Oh,
Bet he comes play and gets another INT. Secondary gets another
Like it.
another turnover.
like it.
Third straight week with a turnover, or fourth straight week. I'm sorry. Be fourth straight week with a turnover. Be nice if he can get another pick 6, but
Right,
I think he can. I think he can get another turnover. So
Hey, I didn't have very high hopes for Chuck Brantley at the beginning of the season, but that month, he played.
it's almost in the same fashion as Cal Halliday as well.
I agree.
They were brought in. They both showed promise in 2021, and then kind of faded away last season and in 2022 as well. But
right.
with this new coaching regime, with Joe Rossi doing what he's doing with the scheme, clearly it's working. Clearly it's doing a lot better than Scotty Hazelton.
Yep.
Scheme and whatnot that was going on the last 3 seasons, but this clearly has revitalized these players because they're getting involved and they just look more comfortable. They look more comfortable, like they're able to make plays and that they're comfortable with the scheme that has been presented to them that they're playing in. So
I agree with you. I believe they're having fun defensively. I believe this is fun. Besides what happened with Scotty Hazelton, I believe this style of defense is way better for them. For me, offensively, the player of the game will be Aiden Childs. I believe if he has one of those games, now he might not have a plethora of 250 to 300 yard games this season. I don't know. But if he was ever to have one, it would have to be this game. If our running game is not decent, I believe it's going to be on his shoulders, and I believe he might can have one of those games. I will say about at least 2 touchdowns, 200 plus yards passing, and like you said, get Jack Velling involved. I believe that stuff right there is key to his development. So I mean, I'm just looking for him to have a very good game if he can. Defensively, for me, I'm with Jordan on this one. I think it's going to be one of the linebackers, either Jordan Turner or Kyle Halladay. Right now, I'll say Kyle Halladay because if you want Kyle Halladay to be the spy, he is going to be one of the most important people on that field in containing Castellanos, who is a problem to contain. So if it was ever going to be somebody, or even Jordan Hall, man, get out there and let's do something, I want the linebackers have got to be, because I think our defensive line is going to put enough pressure on him to get him to move. Now, it's what you do when he moves is going to be the key on the defense.
I don't like how they put Jordan Hall at defensive end. I want them to move him back to linebacker. I don't think he's big enough to be on the end. I don't know why they did that. I don't like that switch.
Right.
I think he needs to go back to linebacker, but yeah, Jordan Hall, I kind of like that one too. I think we need somebody fast to be watching him. Cal's not fast, but he has like a big burst where he can shoot that hole. He'll shoot.
Yep.
I kind of
like how you did the camera right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I think we have it. I think we could do it. It has to be like a Patriot style game, bro. Like not to bring the Patriots, but everybody has to do their job perfectly
Hmm.
for us. I don't think they're a perfect team. It's just we're not, we're not deep enough to make any mistakes.
I agree.
Stay healthy too. Stay healthy. Is Jerron Glover coming back in that game? Do you guys know? Is he
I don't know. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure we'll tweet about it if he is. They don't.
okay?
I don't
Because
know
I
if
know
they
he
know. I
said
don't know if
something.
they
I know
know
he had a
yet.
press conference today. I don't know if he talked about it or not. I have to listen to it.
Right.
But yeah, okay, but yeah, hopefully we stay healthy. I'm curious to see. This is a big game this weekend. This is our hard. This is a test.
Yeah.
This is a test.
So, with that being said, man, I want to know, get you guys' opinion. Score predictions. What do you got this time? What do you have this time? Is it going to be close or is it going to be blowout? We'll see. Devin, I'll start with you. What you got?
42-0.
Oh shit.
The more than likely probably going to be. I could probably see this game being like 28-24, Michigan State.
28-24. Okay. Okay. Jordan, what you got?
My honest one here is gonna be 31-17 Boston College.
31-17. All right. I mean, hey, congratulations, man. Being honest is what's going to happen, man. I'm telling you.
He hopes he's wrong, Spartan
I
Nation.
feel
He
you.
hopes he's
Yeah,
wrong.
I agree.
I'm a fan, but I can't be biased. I'm not gonna be biased. I'm a fan, but I can't be biased.
Yeah, and for me, it's going to be 21-17. Yeah, I'm gonna say 21-17. We have to make this a grimy game. I don't believe that we're 40-point scores on the regular. We're more of the 21, 23, 24 point scores. And our defense has got to, be the ones to shut the offensive opponent down to about 17 to 20 points. And I believe that's the only way for us to win is to make this a grimy, low scoring game. Got to be low scoring.
I think we could give up 20 points, in between 20 or 30, and still win.
30?
I said in between 20 and 30, sir.
I was about to say, I thought you said 20 or 30. I was like, oh, no.
No, in between 20 and 30, and I think we could still win this game. I don't think we can. I don't think we can. We're ready to compete, with 30, 40-point games.
Nope.
Quite yet.
Nope.
But I think if we can keep this game in between 20 to 30 points from what they're scoring, then yeah, I think we got a shot at winning. You're 21-17. I could definitely see us winning that the following week if we're able to do that.
We got Oregon?
No. That's Ohio State.
Oh,
after Boston College is Ohio State. If we were to keep Ohio State to 17 points, I think we could win that game.
Oh yeah, we will win that game if that's the case. But yeah, I don't, man.
If that's the case, we gotta win it. If that's the case, we gotta win the game. I'd be like, bro, if you keep them that low, we better win this shit.
Right. Oh my God. Yep. You're right. But hey, y'all heard it here first, man. We got 2 winners, 1 loser. But hey, man, we're hoping for the best when it comes to Michigan State. We're hoping for the best.
I hope we win.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for listening to today's podcast. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter, Spartan Dog Podcast. You can follow us individually. When the link comes out on Twitter, I'll always tag us individually. To anybody that wants to follow any of us, feel free, please.
At your discretion again. At your discretion.
At your discretion. That's right. So I want to thank everybody for listening. Bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Go check us out on YouTube. Please subscribe, like, comment, all of that good stuff. Until the next time, go green.
All right.
Go white.